So I'm actually telling you it's okay to be, like I said, not okay, but also to have a little bit of restraint with it and learn how to control it and transform that energy into something conducive. Hey guys, Hector Castillo, Poppy from girlschase.com. Today I want to talk about how to be moody and sexy. Now, with a lot of dating advice, we're teaching guys how to be more funny, how to be more charismatic, how to be more fun, how to be more confident and happy. This is good. You want to have good emotions because good emotions spread, and she's going to feel good emotions for you and feel good emotions, and that's good for everyone. Duh, right? Well, you're not always going to be in a good mood. And I've talked about that in a different video on it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to be sad and depressed, and sometimes it can actually be really sexy to women. And I talk about that more in the video in the description, but I want to discuss more how to actually make it work when you find yourself in that mood and on the date. So being moody can be sexy, and whenever I say moody, I think of Hank Moody from Californication, and it's actually a great example. Yes, it's a TV show, so it's overly dramatized and a lot of times unrealistic, and you're not going to get results like that just randomly unless you're a famous writer. But I think that his vibe in the show does credit to this argument, and it shows that women enjoy when a man has that brooding side, right? So this could be titled "How to Be Brooding and Sexy." Women like to see that side of yourself, one, because it's sincere and it's real. So when a woman sees the side of yourself, you're not putting on an act. No one's gonna put on an act to be purposefully like upset or sad unless they're a fucking sociopath or they're being super manipulative. When a woman sees you kind of in a vulnerable state, because it's very dangerous, because no one wants to be seen in that state, and for the most part, you don't want to show too much weakness to a woman, especially a woman you just met. With a woman that you have a connection with, okay, you can have room for more vulnerability, but it needs to be something that, everyone plays that game. We'd all love to be totally transparent and open with each other all the time, and maybe that's the goal, but not everyone's going to reach that point. But there is sexiness to being vulnerable, which is something that I talk about in a different video, and you can check that out. Check that out in the description below. But when you are being vulnerable, it's sincere, but also it can kind of be sexy because the woman sees that you're lost in something outside of her, something maybe more important than her. It's about your existential dread, or you're really focused on your book and you're frustrated with it, and you can't think of what to write next, or something in your business. And it's not like sometimes it can be an angry thing. It doesn't have to be that slow broodingness either. Being moody can be any mood possible. You're fucking angry, you're upset, you're jealous over something, you're any negative emotion, right? Well, I can't really think of that many others. Anxious, right? Just depressed in general, right? Whatever it is, it can be sexy because she sees your passion. Because an extreme mood is an extreme emotion. An extreme emotion requires some sort of passion, right? That's the nature of passion, is it has the positive side and the negative side, and you need both. You can't just have one, it's impossible. So, this is gonna be for the really emotional guys, the really passionate guys, right? I'm not gonna, if you're just a more chill guy, well, I'm not gonna tell you to fake your emotions or, start being more passionate. It's kind of difficult to do that. But if you're a very emotional guy and you find yourself always, because part of this is like, okay, well, you're gonna teach me how to be sexy while I'm moody, but I'm moody. I'm in a shitty mood. How am I gonna remember this video, right? Well, that's what learning discipline is, and learning self-control is, and learning mindfulness, and recognizing when you're in bad states, right? So I'm not telling you to not be that emotion. What I'm telling you is, while you're in that emotion, to have some restraint, some self-control over it, but also that to realize it's okay to get lost in it, because she actually might find it attractive. So I'm actually telling you it's okay to be, like I said, not okay, but also to have a little bit of restraint with it and learn how to control it and transform that energy into something conducive. So, you want to complain about something, you're angry about something, you're sad about something. When you're around her, let that mood, let it go. Even if it's like a first date, you show up and you're like, hey, what's up? How are you? Then what you can do is, obviously with me, for instance, my moods are very transparent. You're gonna see it on my face. It's very hard for me to hide a mood, and I dislike hiding it. I usually just tell people what I'm feeling. And what I've seen is that it really can be very attractive. So if you're on let's say the possible worst case scenario, a first date. You're on a first date with her, hey, how are you, da-da-da, sitting down, you order your coffee or your food or your drink, whatever. And just allow yourself to be in the mood, and just, you have the restraint to do the formalities and to be polite and to have a conversation and be like, okay, but she's gonna feel that something's up. She might actually ask you, because women are usually very perceptive, but if she doesn't, what you could say is, maybe 5 minutes into it, I wouldn't just immediately come complaining, right? That's really unattractive. But she can feel this this mystery about you. There's a mystery of emotion about you. So 5 minutes in, 10 minutes in, just be like, if you feel better, you can say, hey, sorry, you know, I was in a bad mood just a couple minutes ago. I feel better now having talked to you, right? That's also another reason why it can be really sexy to women, because if they can absorb, women have this healing energy. The best women have like a healing energy. And when they feel like they can absorb that from you and turn it into light, kind of like they feel like they're doing their feminine role in the dynamic between the divine masculine and feminine, right? They feel like they're having that healing energy, that kind of nurturing energy. And women want to feel that with the men that they care about. They want to feel the sexual energy with them, but they also want to feel that nurturing energy. The best seduction brings out the sexuality of a woman, but it also brings out the nurturing element of a woman. That's what a girlfriend would be. She's, you know, you have a very strong sexual connection with her, and, you know, in bed, she's your whore, she's your slut, you know, you let that sexuality out with her. Sexuality out with her, Hector. But also, she can be there for you when things aren't that good, and she can, you know, pet your hair, and she can see the softer side of you. And that's when a woman truly falls in love, is when she sees both sides of you and lets out both sides of herself. So you can tell her, like, hey, I was in a bad mood, but hey, you know, being here with you, it, you know, here, I'll play it out for you just so you can kind of see how it would work. So, you know, I'm in a bad mood, I'm talking, and, you know, you can tell something's, you know, not right with me. And then, you know, I start to feel better, and I say, you know what, hey, I know I was kind of acting strange earlier, but I feel better now, partly thanks to you. It's really nice talking to you, you're really cool, and you're really sweet, and, you know, I look at your pretty face and I smile. Yeah, so blah, blah, blah. And then I start talking about what it was that upset me. And this gives a great opportunity for her to see the real you, for her to see something really sincere, and for you to be vulnerable. But it can be very attractive because you're not whining, right? You're not, unless it's something truly sad, then, you know, then you can obviously let that emotion out. But it's probably just something small. Most of the things that we get moody about, because we're moody people and we over-exaggerate everything and overreact to everything. So you let that emotion out and explain what happened, and then she feels closer to you, right? And then usually that gives her the chance to share with you, like, hey, yeah, you know, I feel that way sometimes, you know, I go through the same problems. If it's something specific she can relate to, or if it's just the general, like, anxiety and depression and sadness and disappointment that we all feel with life. If we all share the human element, or the existing element of having disappointments and hopes and dreams and fears and all that shit. So she's gonna see that part of you, and that's going to make her feel so much more connected with you. And then she sees the charming you and the happy you and the cool you and the funny you, and it makes a more full picture. And she feels, a lot of times I feel like dates, people are not connecting because they don't feel like they saw the real person. They saw the act that they're putting on. So this is gonna show the real you. So admit that you were upset, or while you're in the moment, you can kind of walk her through it. Now, what I talk about in the vulnerability video, for instance, is let the emotion out, but be controlled with it. Like, don't lay it on to her where you go into like some 30-minute, 1-hour story and you see that she's being bored. Try to just give her like a quick summary of, you know, yeah, you know, I'm working on this book and I'm just like really struggling with this chapter. I've been working on it for years. And she's like, oh, what is it about? Be like, okay, so I'm in this chapter and da-da-da-da. And I start to give her the story. It's about the story. That's the important part here, right? It doesn't need to be the story you're working on in a book, right? Because not everyone's writing a book. It could be the business you're working on. It could be you're in school and having trouble with it. It could be you're doing something that you don't really like and you don't know what to do for now, like for your profession or for a living, or you just don't even know what to do in general. You're kind of just, like, you know, going through life and you've been feeling down lately. Go through the story with her. And if she feels like she's connecting with the story of you, which is pretty much all we can really connect with each other, because we'll never truly be in each other's mind or heart. We can only really see their story and how they present it, but you can give her a closer look at that story. So tell her your story and tell her your emotions, but do it in a controlled way. She can see the emotions on you, because if you're an emotional guy and a moody guy, you're not hiding it, but be controlled in how you explain it. Don't unload on her, and don't just like complain and just like throw all your baggage on her. Give her a taste of what you're going through. And if she can kind of peer into that, vastness that you are, that she'll get a glimmer of it, and she might start to fall in love with it and be very interested by it and intrigued and want to know more. Then once you talk about whatever it is, maybe she shares a story of her feeling the same way, or she just commiserates with you and she understands you, then you can go, that made me feel better actually to talk about it. Thank you. I'm not feeling amazing still, but I'm feeling a little bit better because of you. So anyways, tell me more about yourself, or, what did you do this week? Now, if it's a girlfriend or someone you've been seeing more, then you can give more of yourself and show her more of you. And so that little keyhole worth that she saw into you can start to open, and she can see more and more and more of you. And that's what makes relationships, casual or serious, very interesting, because you're curious, what are the true depths of this person? And the true depths of our being sometimes involve dark things that aren't, super happy or fun, but they can be interesting, even if they're sad or depressing or angry. So whether you're having a bad day, you're angry, or you're sad, or you're anxious or depressed, it's okay to have that emotion and to wear it on your face and wear your heart on your sleeve. Just make sure you also have something else that's attractive about you, right? If you're not a cool guy, but she thinks you're cool to some extent because she's on a date with you, okay? But you should still try to be as charismatic as you can, and as funny as you can, and as cool as you can. But there's a realness to you that is always gonna be there, and you're gonna have a bad day. And if you're having a bad day and you're on a date, or you're with a girl that you've been seeing or whatever, it's okay to express that to her, and she's gonna see it anyways. So don't try to hide it from her. Just show her a little bit, be controlled about it, but let her in on your story and let her know why you're feeling a certain way. Because a lot of times I think girls feel like maybe it's them. When someone's in a bad mood, a lot of times, because we're focused on ourselves, we think it's us. But if one more addition to like why you should do this is let her know it's not her. So you let her know it's not her, you let her in on your story, you let her feel a more sincere part of who you are, and that's gonna help you have a better connection with her. Okay. Hector Castillo, Poppy from girlschase.com. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, ring the bell, follow me on Instagram. Have fun. Ciao.